which is kind of closest to my heart was the Tata Tetley transaction. I guess a time when I had just become the head of corporate finance in Arthur Andersen, so I had, ego to satisfy and things to prove. And I think that this was a deal that we kind of came up, pitched the idea to Tatas, and said, why are you not looking at acquiring Tetley? From the operating team, we got a great response and said, yes, that's a great idea. And then we went right up to Mr. Krishna Kumar, and we had a meeting with him, and he said, 2 years ago, one of the largest investment banks, because I think it was JP Morgan, had shown this to us, and it's not a workable deal. We then went back to our drawing board and kind of re-looked at it and stuff like that, and then we went back to Mr. Krishna Kumar and said, we believe that you can do it. It is innovative, it is creative, because no one in India has done it before. It was leverage financing. We said we'll set up an SPV overseas, we'll get financing into that company, and we actually did the deal. Personally it was great because that was the largest transaction done in India at that point of time, overseas acquisition, and yes, these bunch of Johnny-come-latelys counting bean counters had managed to pull that deal off. So those were heady days.
You've been involved in raising funds for so many Indian businesses. Over the last month, when you see a mid-level Corporation Bank of India actually raise funds at a cheaper rate than a US giant like Citibank, how did that feel?
A couple of months ago, we were having a discussion and saying that, how many Indian companies may be having enough cash to actually go out and buy Citibank, because that's where the market cap of Citibank was there. I think that throughout this financial crisis, yes, we may have had pressure on ICICI Bank and stuff like that, but there was no bank which was ever in danger, as far as India was concerned. We are maturing. We matured as an economy. We matured as electoral in the recent elections. I think that yes, it does talk a lot about the kind of companies that India Inc. will throw up going into the future.
Indian conservatism or American capitalism?
I think since Buddha came from India, we should learn to follow the middle path, right?
Do you think the primary market is beginning to buzz again? Do you think we're now going to see a rush of IPOs because we've had this huge move at the markets and money is clearly waiting on the sidelines, and some of it is even being moved back into markets?
I think that, yes, money will come in, but I would add a word of caution and say that, okay, what has happened out here is that first, the first rush of blood, which happens, and, you get that exhilaration. So, yes, that has happened, but that is always temporary. That's a short buzz. And I think, we will get into a kind of a more stable, rational kind of an environment.
What are you making of the ease with which real estate firms seem to be able to raise fresh capital?
It's happened, it's good, but it has surprised, I think, all of us, the companies as well as the issuers as well as the intermediaries who are issuing it. Take a case like, DLF. The difference between doing it on a Wednesday and doing it on a Monday would have been $750 million for the same equity stake. So it surprised all of us. I think that would be a fair statement to make, or at least let me not talk about others. It has surprised me substantially.
How do you think real estate companies should be valued?
I think, I've always said that, why would you value real estate companies at anything more than net asset value? And now we can get into arguments as to how do you calculate net asset value, but hey, you've got only 30 minutes for the show.
Is there anyone you admire in Indian politics?
You look at Manmohan Singh, definitely, this is someone who's come out a technocrat. He has managed the system. He has stuck to his guns. He's stuck to his principles. So I think that, definitely he is someone that you would admire. I admire him for being there and be able to pull it out. I don't think we should get too defensive about the fact that a Satyam has happened. Every economy has that.
Brought to you by LIC of India in association with Uttam Galva Steels Limited, the best that steel can be. Magazine partner Business World, India's #1 business magazine. Radio partner Radio 1. Digital outdoor partner DSN. Online trade partner IndianTelevision.com. Mobile partner 197. Multiplex partner Cinemax. Merchandise partner Signac Pens. Sign your destiny.
1 + 1 यानी double plus. Presenting LIC's Market Plus One. Invest